Hi Bulldogs and welcome back. We are going to continue reading The One and Only Bob, and I will be starting on page 237 today. So it starts with my paddles. As I run from the park, I keep hearing my sister's yelp in my head. Still, with every step, my doubts grow. Sometimes we hear what we want to hear. The animal shelter is close, just down the street, but there's nothing quick about the trip. Water rushes past like a raging river, the sun swallowed by black clouds. I pick my way through muddy front yards, avoiding the worst of the water. I ain't much of a swimmer, doesn't come up much in my line of work, though I do a passable doggy paddle. The problem is my paws are tiny, not much to work with when you're fighting a flood. I see a couple humans with flashlights carving tunnels in a sheeting rain, but mostly the street seems eerily abandoned, especially after the chaos of the park. The shelter is at the bottom of the slight hill. Rain's pooled outside the front door, despite a pile of sodden sandbags. A police car is out front, parked at an odd angle. I find some footing on a large rock near the door. Takes me 3 slippery tries, but I manage to leap onto the topmost sandbag. I bark with all I've got, but I might as well be voiceless, between the wind and the rain and the howling animals begging for escape. Inside, I pause to listen. I hear humans shouting, and I can make out what sounds like a police radio chatter. But I don't hear boss. I'm right here, right at the source, and nothing. It wasn't her bark I heard. She's dead, and I'm crazy and hearing things and drenched and shivering, and where is Julia? Where is George? Hey, little guy. The door eases open, just a crack. Every bone in my body, every smart of my doggy brain says, run! This is an animal shelter, a flooding one apparently. My sister isn't here, and I still have to find George and Julia. The door moves. Swoop! The loop comes down around my neck so fast for a moment, I don't know what it is. It's like a cowboy's lasso in the kind of old western movies I used to watch with Ivan. But this lasso is at the end of a long metal handle, and at the end of the long metal handle is a man. Stay calm, buddy. The man eases me gently but firmly off the sandbags through the door. I'm inside the Bow Wow Big House, the Hound Pound, the Pet Pokey. Oops. The return of Snickers. The man pulls me along with his lasso. I decide not to argue. We enter a small room stacked with animals filled in cages, and I'm assaulted by howls and hisses. The cold water on the floor sloshes as we walk, just skimming my belly. As bad as my smeller is, I instantly pick up on one distinctive odor. It's like the world's worst perfume, the kind old ladies emit, the kind people spray on their dogs to camouflage their lovely dog stink, the kind Snickers wears. I catch a glimpse of her in the upper cage, bed-raggled bow in her droopy hair. Snick, baby, fancy meeting you here, I say. You look good behind bars. Harebrained, she replies. Hey, calls a rabbit 2 cages down, what's your language? Mac couldn't deal with you, I asked Snickers. He brought me here because he thought it would be safer. Seems he may have been mistaken, I say. Carefully grabbing my stuff, Cowboy lifts me into the upper cage. He pulls the lasso loose and shuts the barred door. I am not happy, but it's a relief to be out of my noose. Oh, great, another one, calls a woman wearing tall rubber boots. She pauses in the doorway. I thought we were turning people away. People, yes, says Cowboy, but this pup came in solo. Tick-tock, folks, says an older, rusty, ruddy-faced officer. He's holding a radio in one hand and a flashlight in another. You are running out of time. We hear ya, but first we've got to move everybody who's lower level boots high, boot size. Last hurricane we had 2 feet to deal with. I swear they're getting worse. Climate change, says the officer. What are you gonna do? More than we're doing, says Boots. That much is for sure. I'll move the dogs from room 2, Cowboy offers. There are only a couple at the bottom level. We're out of cages, though. We'll have to double up. Put that little female in with the new guy, says Boots. They look like twins. I'm shivering, and it's not because I'm cold. I press my hurt nose to the metal bars. I smell something, I do. I hear something, I do. Cowboy returns, a dog in arms, a bark, that bark. The door to my cage opens. Hey, I say automatically, even as though my heart is already whispering the truth. They call me Bob. They call me Boss, says the voice. But by now I know, of course. I know, and I'm howling with joy. Alive. Thunder claps, shutters fly, windows rattle, water rushes, dogs whimper, cats howl, people yell, and all I can hear is my sister's voice. Catching up. We lick each other, sniff, yelp, circle, wrestle. Neither of us ever were the touchy-feely sort, but sometimes you just gotta let it all out. Wow, says Cowboy watching us. You'd think they knew each other. Tough. Boss isn't anything like I remember. She's scrawny and flea-covered. Her left ear has a big notch in it. Her fur is dull. Her body is scarred, and her tail is cut short. I'm afraid to ask how all that happened. She's clearly had it rough, really rough. I thought I heard your bark, I said, but then it stopped. Figured I was crazy. I was napping. In the chaos, I asked? I can sleep anywhere. It's a gift. Boss nibbles on my toenail. Funny thing is, I was having a dream about you. Must have caught a whiff of you in my sleep. I can't stop staring, Boss. Here, with me. What? She asks when she catches me looking at her. I was just wondering, I say. What about your life? Do you have, anybody? You mean like humans? She gives a little flick of her stubby tail. Never have, never will. You've been on your own this whole time? I flash on my cushy bed, my lovely bowl of food, and the way everyone knows just how I like my ears scratched. Yep. How'd you end up here? I was out scrounging for food, just had another litter, and I was tired, off my game. Animal control got me. She licks a nasty cut on her front paw. Wait, my ears prick up. So, you have puppies? That would make me an uncle, a dog uncle, on top of being an honorary elephant uncle. Had the last batch 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. She scratches at a flea. Last batch, I repeat. You mean you've had others? Yep. What happened to them? Dunno. It's not like they come home from the holidays, Bob. Boss lies down on the old towel lining our cage. Or should I call you Rowdy? Rowdy, she considers. Nope. No, I like the sound of Bob. Me too. Anyway, Boss says, mostly they're dead, I guess. You never know, though. Maybe a few got rescued. She's so matter-of-fact, so resigned. This last letter, well, I thought I was onto something. Found this little car, the ones that look like big old bug? Abandoned, right down by the creek, near that bridge. Easy access through a hole in the floorboard. Blanket in the back seat. She pauses. All the amenities. How many puppies, I asked. 3, but only one survived. A male. The other 2 were pretty sickly, and well, Something scratches into the front office. Sounds like a window is broken. We gotta get out of here, an orange-striped cat howls. He throws himself against the front of his cage, then pokes his paw, grabbing for the latch. I'm too young to die. When they caught me, Boss continues, ignoring the cat, I barked for the puppy to sit tight. Wait, told him I'd be right back. She sighs. Nice. Last thing he'll ever hear was a lie. What's his name, the puppy? She looks at me like I had asked her if she's ever been to the moon. I don't name them, Bob. Just makes it harder. Below us, the water's slowly rising, filling the empty lower cages. We watch the humans rush back and forth, carrying buckets of it as if they can stem the tide. There's nothing to do, nothing to say, and nowhere to go. Not right. I stare at my sister and try to imagine all the pain she's endured. And here, I thought I'd gotten the raw deal. To lose your pups, to wander alone, to struggle for every drop of water, every crumb of food. I experienced a little of that, but Ivan and Stella kept me going. And then Julia and her family. Why me? What's so special about me? Is it really that I'm more resilient, that I've made my own luck? Am I somehow better than Boss? More deserving? It's not right, I blurt. Not right. You should have had it worse than me. Not right. You should have had it worse than me. Well, if you want to talk about not right, you and I both had a whole lot better than our siblings, Boss says. I will never forgive those people for what they did to us. I say through clenched jaws. Really? Boss seems surprised. If I had held on to that much anger, I had never gotten out of bed. Not that I've ever really had a real bed. She sniffs at the towel beneath her feet. This towel's kinda nice, actually. I look at her in disbelief. You're one of those? Those dogs must forgive no matter what types? She almost looked amused. Well, it kinda is our thing, right? When someone does something hurtful, they have to admit it, I say. Then they have to be punished for it. And maybe then, if they apologize and change, maybe then they get forgiven. All I know is I've done lots of bad stuff in my life, Bob. I've had to forgive myself plenty. Just, to get through the day. Boss gazes at me through her wise, weary eyes, and I figure if I'm going to forgive myself, I'd better be ready to cut everyone else some slack too. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys.